I've always had an irrational fear of water. Now I don't think it's so irrational. Written by CallOfTheDeeps. So, this happened to me when I was about 18 or 19. Let me start by saying that I know this story will be hard to believe. I'm used to not being believed, and I know why. I mean, it all sounds so crazy. Let me just start off by saying I've always been terrified of water. For some background, I have a skin condition that causes a really bad pain whenever I touch water, and the salt water intensifies that. I try to avoid water whenever possible, and try to make showers as quick and short as I can. Doctors have told me it's a really bad case of eczema, aka dry skin, mostly because they aren't sure what else it could be. Anyway, that pain is what originally drove me to dislike water. I mean, I can obviously drink it and everything. It doesn't burn my lips, tongue, or throat. It just hurts when it's concentrated in large amounts on my body. So anyway, when I was 17, I started college and I met a girl. We started dating. She was a swimmer. She loved it. She always wanted to be in the water, and she was always disappointed when I told her I didn't want to get into a pool or a hot tub or a shower with her because of the pain. I think she resented that I couldn't share her love for water, even though she had actively tried to engage herself in my hobbies and interests to spend more time with me. When I showered, I always invited her to join me, and she did, but we never did anything too scandalous in the shower, as I was in excruciating pain the entire time I was there. Having her there helped. Sometimes the pain would get bad enough that I couldn't wash myself because my hands were shaking so much. And then she would always take the soap and shampoo and step in to help. Anyway, the point is, water? Bad. Always has been. So when after dating for 2 years my partner asked me to go on a cruise with her, I was quite surprised. "Come on," she beamed, "it'll be fun. You won't even be in the water. You can just take in the beauty of the ocean from the safety of a dry ship. I won 2 tickets in a raffle, and I'd hate to let them go to waste." I sighed. She had a point. The ship itself would be dry, I suppose. And we would be surrounded by water, which my partner would love. I didn't see anything too terrible about the idea. It was in the middle of summer, and we were both getting quite bored with having nothing to do. So, about 3 weeks later, the two of us found ourselves on the deck of a massive cruise ship, leaving the shore for a 9-day cruise. The first day, the captain of the ship came on the intercoms and told us about the ship. I really wasn't listening, but my partner took in every word. The one thing that did stand out, though, was that he said the ship was 325 meters long and 14 decks high. That's huge. I mean, I knew the ship was big. I suppose it had to be to have entire auditoriums and cabins and restaurants and shops and whatnot on board. But 325 meters, wow, that was about 1,066 feet long. I was born and raised in America, so I always measure things in feet. Or it was about the size of about 11 blue whales, the largest animals on Earth. That made me feel a lot better about being on the ocean. I was basically on a floating city, and even if a whale swam into the side of the ship, it wouldn't even make an impact. I was safe. Or so I thought. The first 3 or 4 days were actually really nice. My partner and I went and ate at various buffets and restaurants, went to shows and events, and even visited an onboard casino at one point. It was so much fun, and she had been right. The ocean really was beautiful. Looking at the sunset reflected on the surface of the water, stretching out in every direction as far as the eye could see, it was breathtaking. But of course, if that was all, I wouldn't be here, writing this. It was on the 5th night, I think, when everything went to hell. I remember not being able to sleep, and after remaining awake for several hours, I decided to sneak out of the cabin and wander around the ship, maybe look at the stars. There were very few people about. It was about 3 a.m. or maybe 4. Several places on the ship were closed at that time too, obviously. So, after some wandering, I found myself on the highest deck, the observatory of the ship. I stood up there, feeling the cold breeze ruffling my hair, looking down at the entire ship bathed in moonlight. I was so high up, it felt like I was on a skyscraper. I could see the entire ship, end to end, laid out below me. On every side of me, as far as I could see, was a calm, moonlit sea. And then suddenly, the ocean around the ship started glowing. Not just glowing in a random shape, it was glowing in a perfect circle around our ship. The glow must have extended on every side for at least 500 feet. Our ship was in the middle of a massive, glowing circle of water. I had no idea what to make of this. At the moment, I remember thinking, is the ocean supposed to do that? Maybe some kind of bioluminescent sea life, perhaps. I tried to tell myself that it was just a normal thing, some kind of bioluminescent algae in this part of the sea. I had no idea where we actually were, so it calmed me down a little bit. But why is it in a perfect circle around this ship? Before I could ponder the question, I noticed something else. The center of the circle, maybe 100 feet around the ship on each side, wasn't glowing. It was completely dark. Like there was just a thick ring of light around our ship. It almost looked like, well, I don't know. I couldn't know, but for some reason it made me dizzy with fear and unease. I stumbled back from the observatory railing, not wanting to see it anymore. Suddenly, a siren blared and the captain's voice called out,
"All passengers, stay in your cabins. I repeat, all passengers, stay in your cabins."
I heard a soft click behind me as the doors back to the interior of the ship locked themselves. I wasn't exactly sure what was going on. I just knew that I was terrified. Not knowing what to do, I went back to the railing to observe the ship, and maybe get the attention of a crew member and ask them to unlock the door. Somehow, though, I didn't see anyone now. The exterior of the ship was empty, completely empty. And then it happened. The event that would begin a sequence of occurrences so terrifying that even thinking about it causes me to start shaking. The ring around the ship, the massive ring of light, it blinked. I'm sorry, but I don't think I can keep going. I'm gonna take a break before writing out the rest. It did feel really good to get this much out, though. Even if nobody believes me, at least I'm putting this out there.